We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello there and welcome to yet another informative episode of Able Differently. My name is Jen Theuri and we've got a great show lined up for you. So let's get started.
We're differently abled, differently.
Representation for persons with disabilities has been a key factor delaying many milestones in disability awareness. Edwin Denda is determined to have his voice in Parliament as he seeks to vie in the coming general elections. Take a look.
For Edwin Denda, the notion information is power is entirely true, since it provides a platform to accomplish a number of things. As a young man and a person with disability, Edwin says he currently feels more empowered, and in return, he uses the skills he has acquired along the way to practice advocacy and inclusion for his community.
I am a resident of KBC constituency. I wear many hats. I'm a community volunteer. I'm also a counseling psychologist, a disability inclusion facilitator, among so many. And now I am a political aspirant for the position of Member of Parliament within KBC constituency. Like I said, I'm a counseling psychologist. In the community here at Kibera, I've volunteered with so many organizations offering my services for free. And you will attest like things like depression and maybe suicide or mental health is one of the largest crises ever. So I frequently like volunteering my services to anyone I come across in a form that it's so understandable to them. I come in a community where people are really diverse in terms of how they speak, how they do things. So the type of counseling that I'll do in a professional setup and the one that I will do here will quite differ, but the thing is that there is a problem solved at the end of the day. Another thing that I always do is that I use my skills also to advocate for rights of persons with disabilities within the community. In Kibra, we have a lot of people with disability, children, women, adults, and older people. You will not find them on the roads, but when we visit social amenities like our government offices or public places, you will come across one or two. I try to use my time to reach out to them through my programs or the programs with the developmental partners that I've interacted with over time, trying to reach to them, talking to them, trying to share with them these opportunities that are available.
Hailing from Kibera, the largest informal settlement in Nairobi and the largest urban slum in Africa, where most of its residents live in extreme poverty, Edwin is determined to foster change as he seeks to vie for parliamentary seat in his residence. More so that Kenyan government has provided an opportunity for persons with disabilities representation in politics.
I started by wanting to run this seat as an independent candidate because you will understand then again the power of political parties. There is a lot of advantage being in a political parties. At the same time, if you have no political party, you can run as an independent. As I was meeting the residents of Kibra, as I had already distributed to them a letter and telling them this is what I want to do, I had this concern from people that I should come with a party. it has been a rough decision to make, but eventually I looked at a party that really supports my ideologies. As you can see now, I am under United Party of Independent Alliance, UPIA Party. Coming here at Kibra, I know that as a matter of fact, people with disability are still hidden. And if they are out here, they have been used and overly abused by people who are not with disabilities. For example, you find a chance that really supports people with disabilities, then you would really want to discriminate that person, or if you give that person a chance, you sit on top of them, like you really don't want them to grow, to become better version of themselves day by day. We really need to change this narrative. And looking at an example like how these developmental partners are here in Kibra, like you see a place where I'm doing this interview at Kibra Town Center, they have really provided platform even for people with disability, so that they can come here and get access to information, which is a key thing they miss. I wanted to run for the position of MP a long time ago, even the by-election that we really had 2019, when we lost our former Member of Parliament, Ken Okor. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. But that time I was still in school, I was still incapacitated in many ways. But now, looking back at what I've done in the community, at what motivates me as a person, I think it is now time. Because I heard there is a quote in the Bible that said there is times for everything, time to lead and time to be led, time to serve and time to be served. So it is my time to serve. It is my time to lead. I'm a youth leader, as I said. I am a founder of a youth group in Lindy called Anderson Youth Group, formed in 2019, and we've really done a lot of things. We have a lot of projects going on. That's what has motivated me. And then, you see, like the government has now provided a platform for even young people with disabilities, women with disabilities, and persons with disabilities in general, to be equal to the task, to come to the representation side. And you will be represented if you only get out and look for these opportunities. You see, the things that really affect the people of Kibra, some of them could be little as missing food, missing health care, missing clean sanitation, water, electricity. And these basic needs could be an opportunity that can make a person feel like they are really enjoying their livelihood. Now, what happens in the instance when those things are not available? It weakens a person. The person feels very hopeless and very helpless. They always feel like they have been excluded, like they are not part of the community. The youths of Kibra, a big number or a huge number, is out of job. They are not been in jobs. How can I come up and create models that will ensure they can get deployment or employment, and they can really have something to do? Our women, how can they involve themselves in activities, economic empowerment activities?
With the likes of Tracy Wanjiru, a student at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT, pursuing a bachelor's degree in applied bioengineering, and a person with disability who declared interest to battle it out with Deputy President Ruto for the UDA ticket, it is impressive that persons with disabilities are willing to beat most, if not all, the odds in the political space.
up to go for this position. Do you know what that means? You see, even in the society, people with disabilities for a long time, they have been considered incapable, people who do not have abilities. But here is a case of young people with disabilities trying to overcome that what has the society has already depicted as that we are incapable, and we are stepping front. And you will realize it's so shocking that even those that do not have these disabilities are quite not confident in themselves, and they would really not want to go into this very tough line, the political line. So I think it brings out a spirit that people with disability, having a lot of talents and holding pools of talent, they have tried to discover their abilities, trying to utilize them more and more by being said that we don't want to be left behind. We also want to get representation. We want to see ourselves at the topmost. You see, like the topmost jobs. Not just jobs, but good jobs with good salaries, so that we can equally enjoy our lives. And forget about enjoying our lives. Like, we are really giving hope to those people who are really hopeless.
It goes without saying that disability changes one's life in huge ways, but it doesn't help to live in denial. Edwin's disability was acquired as a result of chronic osteomyelitis, a condition in which inflammation of the bones occurs, caused by an infecting organism.
I'm a young youth, born and raised in Kenya. I'm a young person with a disability, but my disability is acquired in 2003 when I developed a condition called chronic osteomyelitis, and it was one of the very traumatizing moments for me at life. You see, I was really young. I could not interpret or absorb what was going around. It started out normally, and just within a short time, between 2003 to 2007, I formed, or rather my left leg had a problem at the knee joint. So I could not fold it like I can do with the right one. So, and this was after a long period of hospitalization. Unfortunately, there was no clear circumstances. I really feel I was misdiagnosed at some point. Some doctors said it was cancer, but it was not. I had some tumors or some growth in the leg. And ever since, life has been like quite unfair for me. I really started adapting as early stage as I could, going to school through primary, through secondary, and even through tertiary. It's really been unfair for me, especially with our schools not being disability friendly. And I try to give my best, being a good performing student, both primary, secondary, and high school. I've equally absorbed great grades, but I came to Nairobi to look for pastures. Realizing that in the western parts of Kenya, chances are very minimal for you to get a job or an opportunity. So I always pushed myself to come to Nairobi, and ever since I came here, my life has been transiting smoothly, but not that not that super. So I've engaged myself in multiple activities, including like being an entrepreneur. Okay, chronic osteomyelitis could be a condition that affects part of the bones and part of the flesh, It is inside, it grows from inside, and it's, as the name suggests, it's a chronic one. So I could find maybe I'm hospitalized for, let's say, for 3 months, and I go a small surgery or a minor surgery, then I wait to be discharged. By the time I want to get clear with the paperwork so that I could get home, immediately it erupts again and again, and it was so frequent until 2010. That's when I tried some kienyeji or herbalist, and unfortunately or fortunately it worked.
For the longest time, persons with disabilities, youth and women have been considered as special interest groups. But it is time we all viewed disability from a different perspective.
They have been considered for a long time to be special interest groups. The reason is, when we have these opportunities, they are never part of the initial program during the establishment or the rolling out of these programs. They only comes at some later stage when these other individuals feel like we have left out a number of groups. I'd wish to particularly urge the community out there to show support, to try changing this narrative that people with disabilities cannot do. We don't want to continually and overly use existing models like the charity model. They are always objects of help. Medical models. Edwin, your disability needs to be fixed. When you go to a church, the first thing the other fellowship worshippers will see, like, you are going to seek miracle. We want to look it from a human rights perspective, like disability is a part of human diversity, and just like any other person has equal rights to enjoyment of these human rights.
Let's take a